RWBY Volume 8 and Volume 9 have officially been announced. In this video, we're going to talk about that and some other RWBY news. It's been a while since we talked about that because, well, there really hasn't been that much RWBY news, obviously. But with Volume 7 coming out and the hype that's being built up for that, there's some news out here. Am I that excited for RWBY? I'm nervous. I'm nervous about Volume 7 for a number of reasons. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's just get into the news. I'm here. I'm ready. I just got back home. I got my gi. Not really anything else, just the gi. But hey, it's all good. So today we're going over to syf.com. In just a moment, we'll see what they say. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's see what they say here again from SYFY. Is that like Siffy? Siffy.com? They write, as Team RWBY makes its way to Atlas, the cast and creators of the hit Rooster Teeth web series made their way to New York Comic-Con for a panel and Q&A at the Hammerstein Ballroom, talking all about the upcoming Volume 7. For those of you that don't know, New York Comic-Con is going on this weekend. It's going on right now as we speak. So this is some very recent news. Continuing, the panel began with some announcements about RWBY's licensing partners. This November, Team RWBY will be playable characters in the MOBA game Smite Battleground of the Gods. I think that's old news, actually. I think that was announced a while back. There will also be a battle pass and a skin included with the release. All right. Aspiring artists will have a chance to let their work shine for fans, by fans. Hey, that's familiar sounding. We'll be teaming up with FanForge and holding a contest where the winner will have their art featured on officially licensed RWBY merchandise. Interesting. One more time with that one. So, aspiring artists will have a chance to let their work shine. They'll be teaming up with FanForge, whatever that is, holding a contest where the winner will have their art featured on officially licensed RWBY merch. Now, oh my gosh, see, the cynical part of me is already thinking that RT's just going to use their art and be like, hey, this is really cool. Your art's going to be on our shirts. And are you getting any of the money? No. The money's all for us. We keep all the money, but this is a really cool thing for you. You right? Your art's on the RWBY shirt. It's great. It's really cool. But none of the profits go to you though. 100% to us. No royalties or anything like that. Get out of here. We're Rooster Teeth. Listen, I don't know if that's really the case. I have no idea what the deal would be with that. Maybe if I look up FanForge, it'll have more information. Maybe they have. Maybe FanForge themselves knows what that's all about. So let's take a look. So FanForge, what is FanForge? Again, for fans, by fans, I guess. It says T-shirts designed for fans, by fans. Interesting. So if this is a collaboration, I guess the assumption here would be maybe that... let me show you what I'm taking a look at. This is their website, fanforge.com here. So I guess what they would do... this is totally an assumption of how this promotion would work, but they would have the artist submit it through FanForge because if it's some collaboration, obviously FanForge is going to want something out of this. So the artists, I assume, will submit their work to FanForge. Rooster Teeth will then hold a contest or let the community decide, I guess, for the fans, right? Whatever. I'm saying whatever because, man, those words sound hollow to me when I've seen how these companies treat their fans. It's that's something I could rant about. But let's focus on this. So, assuming the artist submits it here, then Rooster Teeth picks it or whatever. And again, who knows if they actually get any money for their work or if it's just a little pat on the back. I have no idea. But I guess that's that. Let's move on. On the book side of things, Scholastic will be releasing a new novel, RWBY Before the Dawn, by Shawcross, Luna, and EC. All right, so no K... What would her abbreviation be? I forget what her last name is. But there's no K in there, so that's good. There's one writer on RWBY who's new, and I've seen the tweets she makes, or she's made. She's deleted a whole bunch of them, but it was very intolerant stuff. Very, very intolerant. And it makes me nervous that this is one of the writers for RWBY. But we'll see. Hopefully the others keep her balanced somewhat, because this is the kind of person that can easily write some very, very intolerant things into the show. We'll see if that happens or not. That's one of the reasons why I'm nervous for Volume 7. I mean, I've been nervous because the show quality has just been kind of going down the last few years. That's putting it nicely. And then we have this new writer who, again, man, the stuff I've seen her post online, absolutely insane. It makes me very nervous. It does. But she's not working on the Before the Dawn novel, apparently. This might actually be good. I'm going to be honest. It might actually be good. I'm skeptical of the comic because comics these days, let's be honest, it's not the best industry to get into. It's almost like Rooster Teeth did the opposite. They got a manga and then they had a comic. You know, comic companies nowadays are trying to get more into like manga and stuff like that. Like I think there was even a comic released in Shonen Jump because their original market is turning on them because it's getting to become such a shady industry, the comic industry. It has been for a while. But that's out of my expertise. Take that up with like Tug or Flash. Those guys know way more about the comic side of things than I do. All I know is that the industry's not doing so well, and it's really ironic that Rooster Teeth and RWBY would get a manga, which is great. That's good. And then turn around and be like, we also got a comic. It's like, oh, wait. Forget the comic. Let's focus on the manga and forget the comic. And even focusing on a book, I think that's cool. So I'm a little excited about this. This might be good. RWBY Before the Dawn. Might be good. Really might. Oh, wait a second. They also, okay. For a second, I thought it said the DC Comics was related to the book. It doesn't. Let's continue on with the news. They also showed off their new DC Comics series with their first print issue dropping October 9th with a beautiful variant cover by Jim Lee. Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that beautiful, to be honest, but hey, the colors are nice. The characters don't really... Oh, okay, whatever. Let's just continue on here. The panel then moved on to the upcoming Volume 7, which premieres in just about a month. While fans knew that Team RWBY would be getting new outfits this year, it was shown today that they aren't the only ones. Team Juniper will also be sporting some new sweet clothes. Not bad. Jean's hair, though, that's been getting a lot of backlash. It just looks weird. There's one recurring problem with RWBY. It's really a problem with Yang. And that problem is that it looks like Lego hair. Mostly Yang. Like, every time I see Yang's hair, I see it, man. And I will constantly meme this. I want this to become a real meme in the community. That'd be hilarious. Lego hair Yang. Or just Lego hair. Lego hair. Think of Yang, man. Like, go back, look at scenes with Yang where she's fighting or, like, flying or whatever. Like, her hair should be moving. It just looks like, I just imagine she's bald and someone just took like a Lego thing and just stuck it on her head. It's this chunk of hair that like never really moves. It's weird looking to me, guys. It's weird. And even this trailer did it too. There's like a scene in this trailer where she's flying through the air and the hair's just stuck on there like a Lego piece, man. So Lego hair Yang or just Lego hair. That's good enough. Like, if the meme would work, just saying Lego hair in the RWBY community should let people, people would know what that means if the meme was successful. So it is what it is. Following that announcement was an action-packed new trailer featuring the team doing what they do best, being awesome. Shawcross then made an announcement that shook the Hammerstein. We have Volumes 8 and 9 officially greenlit. We have the budget to start them right now, he said. I literally started writing the script for Volume 8 this morning. Now listen, guys, I've criticized RWBY, I've criticized Rooster Teeth, but I've always said all these months I would much rather see them succeed than fall apart. I would much rather see them get the bad actors out of there, so to speak, reorganize, and succeed, and RWBY be good. I would much rather have that than RWBY be bad and Rooster Teeth fail and all these innocent people working there who really don't mess with the internal politics structure and all that stuff also suffer. I don't want those people to suffer. I don't. And I want RWBY to be good. Why would I want it to be bad? I've liked this show for a while. I want to see it be good. Okay? So, what was I getting at with that? Oh, yes. So getting back to the news and tying that in. If they really are starting Volume 8 and 9 already, that could be a really good thing. As far as I understand, they're usually like crunched to the extreme. I think there's a story, I forget if it's confirmed or not, that one of the chapters of RWBY was even like posted literally like 20 minutes. Like, well, let me rephrase. They finished it literally like 20 minutes before it was supposed to be released. I don't know if that's true or not, because I can't imagine how they would upload it so quick and the quality would be good enough in that 20 minutes. But I mean, I guess, the servers they have and the internet connection they have for a company like that, maybe it's really possible to upload something that quick and it'll be all good on their site. I don't know. So I don't know if that's a true story or not, but that's pretty funny. I mean, it's also kind of sad for the employees, man. That's a heck of a stressful thing, I'm sure. Could you imagine, man? Could you imagine that day? And then as the hours go by, oh my God, 5 hours until we're supposed to premiere this. Oh, 2 hours until we're supposed to premiere this. We're not done yet. An hour. We have an hour, guys. There's 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Like, that would be stressful, right? Moving on. The team couldn't go into a lot of detail about Volume 7, because of spoilers. But they did say enough to get fans excited. A quote from Jones, My favorite new outfit this season is from someone you haven't even seen yet. So that's all I will say about that. Interesting. Hopefully it's a better outfit than SantaCon had. Meanwhile, Zek is eager to learn about her teammate since they are traveling to her home this year. I'm excited to learn more about Weiss. She exclaimed, what's there to learn about her? She's rich, obnoxious, rude, and she likes ice magic. You know, that's Weiss. Okay, I'm obviously trolling. It's not magic, all right? I'm also kidding about the rude thing and all that. It's just a joke. But that was the double joke, to say I was trolling about the ice and not like the rest of it. Hey, not bad. I'm joking too much in this video. Before the panel ended, they took some questions from the web, including, what is the best thing about being part of RWBY? All the answers revolved around the fans. I wish I could believe that, to be honest. This show was life-changing, said Jones. You still see me fangirling at cons, and it's amazing people come up to me and do the same thing. It's created a wonderful platform for anyone who doesn't necessarily feel represented. I've had all sorts of fans come up to me and tell me how the show connected with them, and it's special to me. Oh boy. See, now we could get into a big thing about that because, man, this is why there's a big divide in the community right now. You have people who originally started watching RWBY because it was kind of janky animation, but in an endearing way because you could feel the passion in it, and they had great fights. And that actually made for great escapism because you would have this janky animation and it'd be like, what the heck? But it would be funny because, again, you could feel the passion and you could see that, well, like, not see, but you could feel even that the people working on the show even understood they were kind of like just having fun with it, right? They were just having fun with it. It was good escapism. You could get taken into the world of Remnant. When I want to watch RWBY, let me actually change this for a second because this is a good point. When I want to watch RWBY, and this is anecdotal, but I think a lot of people would agree, I simply want to get taken to the world of Remnant. You guys had a cool world. World of Remnant, semblance, aura, awesome weapons that transform in these characters, and it's got anime influences, and it's fun. And that fun's gone now. It's gone because, listen, I'm being a bit hyperbolic. It's not all gone, but my gosh, to some people it is all gone. There are people who've left the show, so maybe I'm not being that hyperbolic. It depends on each person. But the point is this. That escapism isn't really there anymore, and the show seems like it is trying to pander to a different crowd, a different target market. And, like, the worst thing about it is how not transparent RT's been about that. You know, if they would just come out and say, look, we want to get away from the fights and the jokes a little bit, and we want to focus more on these real-world issues that we feel are important. While I would still disagree with that decision, I would at least respect that they are being transparent about that. Because what's happened now is people, for all these years, have been expecting more and more RWBY, more just being taken into Remnant and seeing how these characters will continue their stories and how the plot, the greater plot, will end up being wrapped up in all this stuff with Salem and Ozpin, etc., the academies, all that stuff, right? The kingdoms. And now that is being pushed away simply to have more people connecting to the show in, like Zek said here. It's created a wonderful platform for anyone who doesn't necessarily feel represented. I've had all sorts of fans come up to me and tell me how the show connected with them, and it's special to me. Listen, I don't want to be sitting here telling someone how they can enjoy a show or not. All I'm saying is that approach. You don't always need to directly you don't need to imprint yourself on a character. Sometimes just enjoy the character for that character being unique. You don't always have to relate to like every little thing. Anyways, moving back over to this. They continue. It changed everything for me. I had never been to New York City before, and I've been here 3 times for New York Comic Con, and it's in thanks to all of you, added Eberl. The panel closed with a viewing of the first 12 minutes of Volume 7, Chapter 1. RWBY is known for its awesome action, and these 12 minutes showed Team RWBY is not letting up in this department. Well, I hope so. We'll see. Volume 7 premieres November 2nd. And that's it for the news, guys. That's it for the news. Not too much more for me to say here at the end. As I mentioned, I'm excited a little bit. This is definitely the least excited I've been for any RWBY volume, though. Absolutely the case. It's just that RWBY isn't as special as it used to be. And there are so many shows out there that really do still have heart and passion put into them and are special and unique. I'm talking about other anime, you know. It's unfortunate because RWBY used to be really special and unique, you know? It's awesome how this Western company made an anime-inspired show. It ended up even getting a manga and being huge in Japan. I remember seeing the posters a few years ago. thing was huge in Japan. It really started kicking off. And to be honest, I almost feel like Japan is living the spirit of RWBY even better than we are here in the US. I see cosplayers in Japan. I see their social media and stuff, and they're still having a lot of fun with RWBY. They're not talking about all this politics and stuff that the American crowd is. The US crowd is focused on shoving politics into the show, and the Japanese crowd is still just having fun with it. It's quite amazing. I mean, seriously, I've been to 2 conventions this year. The 2 biggest conventions in the United States, though, Anime Expo and Anime Matsuri, there's barely any RWBY cosplayers there. And my gosh, man, 2 years ago, there was like so many RWBY cosplayers. Maybe like RWBY and My Hero Academia were the most cosplayed like shows. 2 years ago, Anime Expo, it was like nonstop My Hero and RWBY characters. The next year, 2018, a little bit less. In 2019 now, man, I'm really sad to say, but there was almost no RWBY cosplayers at either convention that I saw, especially Anime Matsuri. There was like a handful of RWBY cosplayers, man. What a shame. It really is. It really is. But that's what happens when your goodwill is diminished, and we'll see how Volume 7 is. The last thing I'll say here is a big part of the diminished goodwill is the fandom itself of RT. It has become very intolerant. If you have any sort of differing opinion, these weirdos will literally like gang up on you and try to force you out. There's one weirdo on Twitter who calls himself the spokesperson of Bumblebee or something like that, when I'm actually a Bumblebee shipper and I just don't like how they're intolerant and they gatekeep. This weirdo says that he kicked me out of the RWBY community. Like, he gets to decide that? Buddy, guess what? This is a RWBY video. What are you doing? Sorry, but you don't get to decide who gets to be a part of the fandom or not. The fact that you think that, and this guy's 31 years old, by the way. Oh my gosh. You guys should see this stuff that this guy posts. It's quite disturbing, to be honest. This guy goes after people, goes out of his way to attack people, and then he also seems very creepy for reasons I can't disclose right now. That's just one thing. Another thing I saw recently, this very well-known RWBY AMV maker on YouTube, she posted that she was quitting, and this other person like retweeted it. This other person in the RWBY community, another intolerant fanatic, and started bashing her, saying that she brought nothing good to the fandom and that it's good that she's gone. And this is someone who dedicated a bunch of time to making great AMVs, making content on RWBY for free, right? RT wasn't paying her. I doubt they were. That's an assumption, but RT doesn't pay YouTubers. Like, it's not how it works. So unless there was some wildly strange deal there, she wasn't getting comments by RT. She was just doing it because she was passionate about the show. And this guy who starts trolling her when she says she wants to leave the fandom and not watch, she's not going to watch RWBY Volume 7 because she doesn't like the direction of the show. This guy says, good, we don't need her in the fandom. This guy, oh my gosh, man, these people are getting rid of people from the community who actually do good things. Like me too. This is anecdotal, but man, I have cosplayed Crow, not even at conventions. I've gone around a mall before, cosplaying Crow on live stream, promoting RWBY to people in cosplay at a mall. And these people say that I don't care about the show as they sit here doing absolutely nothing except actually burning the goodwill down. And you know what? The worst thing is Rooster Teeth panders to those people. There needs to be big changes for Volume 7 to be good. It's not just the show itself that's the problem these days. It's also the community. We'll see how that all develops. I don't talk about the community news that much because I like to focus on the businesses, holding these businesses and corporations accountable, keeping them professional. But the more I look into the community of RWBY itself, the more I see that a lot of the problem isn't just Rooster Teeth. It is these fanatics too. And maybe that needs more coverage. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, double check that you are because YouTube unsubs people. Notification bell, all that jazz. And if you want to support the channel more directly, got Patreon, Teespring for merch. I'm not wearing the shirt right now though, but you know. All in the description. Oh my God, I did not mean to click that. That was just double audio because I have shout outs for the video yesterday that just played a second of. Shout out to Striker Red, Raven Wood, The Lancaster Kid, Christian W, Clever Halloween Name, My Aliases, Samantha Miu, Origami, Coden X, Christopher Gillette too, Drac Caprico, Vertica Frostscale, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Cat Lionheart, 13th Honey Badger, wrecked by West Nile Virus, Skelly Kitty, Intimidator 108. That's for the video yesterday regarding the ruling. Thank you for promoting it over on Twitter, and if you promote it elsewhere, thank you as well. My system only tells me when it's on Twitter, though. With that said, That's the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one.